Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've got another film review for you. It is going to be It Chapter 2, the sequel to the 2017 remake of the 90s sort of mini-series, as well as an adaptation of the Stephen King book of the same title, It. So this is the sequel. This takes place directly after, unlike the original 90s TV series and the book where the timeline jumps around when it's the kids and the adults that do these flashbacks. The first one is just them and the kids, and this one is predominantly focused on them as adults. I'll start with the positives as first. The cast in this is great. Similar to the first one, where the kid actors that they had were really good, and I really kind of followed the story, and they're great characters. This follows on the actors that they've got to play the adult versions of those same people are amazing. Everybody does a stellar job in this. James McAvoy, Jessica Chastain, Bill Hader's really good as Richie. He's probably the standout of them all, as the funny one with the glasses, and Bill Skarsgård, who's kind of the real main returning member because he plays Pennywise. Again, all of them are great. The chemistry is really good between them. You can really believe that they are the same people. And because when they leave Derry, this is not a spoiler, when they leave Derry, they tend to forget some of the stuff that happens. But Mike, who stays, remembers everything. So when they come back, you see that sort of the camaraderie coming back and the memories coming back. They kind of just fall into the adult versions of their kid selves, and everybody does a great job in this film. So hats off to the casting and everybody involved, especially Pennywise, Bill Skarsgård. He is great. Outside of that though, this one, similar to the 90s original, and as well as what I've heard from the book, the second half in chapter 2 is a little weaker than the first. I think I didn't find this one nearly as scary as the original. If anyone, this one's actually quite funny. There's a lot of funny moments in it. With the scares and the stuff like that, there's not as intense. In the original, I think Pennywise himself is kind of kept quite sort of obscured. You don't really see him fully, only in quick flashes, or he's in another form or something like that. Whereas this, there are times he's just out there in the daylight, just there talking to people. So it doesn't have that same impact that you would get that we had in the first one. Also, I think it's from the perspective as well. Like if you look at the original, it's from the perspective of children. So to kids, Pennywise is absolutely terrifying, and the way they react to him and the stuff that he does to them, you do find quite scary. But this one, because it's adults and it's James McAvoy and it's Jessica Chastain, these people that you've seen and you know, you're not. The impact isn't there. Like you're not as scared for them as you would be. Although I do like their characters and I want to see them get through it. You feel more sort of with the kids. You're kind of more scared for them than you are the adults. So I think that's one of the problems as well. This film is long. This is 2 hours and 45 minutes, 2 hours 50 minutes. So there are points it really kind of stretches in. There's sort of boring scenes. You're just like, all right, let's get to the next kind of big scare. And then some of the scares, when they are there, they're kind of just your generic, typical sort of jump scare moments where someone turns around and then boom, there's something there. They're a little bit cliche for me. The first one didn't have that so much. I had a couple of those moments, but not as much. But this one kind of really heavily relies on that. There's not as much sort of scary imagery, nothing that really stays with you, nothing iconic like the Georgie scene at the start of the original in this one. So yeah, apart from the length, it gets a bit sort of cliche towards the end as well. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I didn't really like the ending as much. It was a bit sort of nah, which is quite a funny thing because that's a Stephen King trope. They can't even reference that in the film as well. But overall, it is a good movie. If you like the first one, I think you will like this one. I think it's something well worth watching, but set aside some time because it is a long, beefy film. So I would recommend it if you can find it sort of cheaper cinema. I wouldn't pay sort of 15 quid to see this. It's a bit much, but no, it is enjoyable. It'll probably be good when it actually comes out on sort of Blu-ray. Hopefully they'll kind of do an amalgamation, kind of merge the two films together, similar to how the original and the books were in some sort of 5-hour long epic. That would be pretty good to see. But other than that, It Chapter 2, it's good, not as good as the original. Up to you if you want to see it or not. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.